Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight from Stan Lampe Gymnasium at Fort Morgan High School. It's a league doubleheader as the visiting Roosevelt Rough Riders will take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. I'm John Beltran. We start with the girls' game, where the Lady Mustangs are 0-9 and the Roosevelt Rough Riders, the defending 5A state champions, are 9-1. So this is a huge mismatch. And of course, with Fort Morgan starting 3 freshmen, it's even a bigger mismatch. Now the starting lineup first for the Rough Riders. Starting lineup brought to you by B&B Appliance. With over 30 years of experience, they can help match the appliances to your needs at 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Kinsey Trujillo, along with Ryan Bonson-Price, Kyla Hollier, Brooke Mesa, who's very difficult to contain, along with Madison Moyers. The Mustangs with Lauren Zwetzig, Shaylin Ramirez, Ava Taylor, Bella Phillips, and Kiara Jimenez. Opening tip brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. They'll make your vision a reality. The Mustangs in their home whites and Roosevelt in the road black uniforms. Taylor jumping against Kyla Hollier, controlled by Roosevelt. Here's Bonson-Price on the outside left, dribbling left baseline all the way. Reverse layup is up and in. The Mustangs not there to guard her, and she banked it in. Backcourt pressure being applied. The bounce pass is into Zwetzig. Bounces it backcourt to Jimenez. Now to Shaylin Ramirez. Crosses midcourt. Ramirez maintains the dribble. Nice job of the Mustangs breaking the press. Lob down low to Phillips. Lobs it inside to Taylor. Tipped away, but Jimenez tries to chase it down and does. Near that right corner. Bounce pass to Taylor down low on the right baseline. And then has the ball stripped away, but it's a tie-up. And the possession arrow stays with the Mustangs since Roosevelt won the opening tip. 3/4 court. It'll be thrown in by Lauren Zwetzig. Well, this pressure defense by Roosevelt is going to give Fort Morgan headaches. Bounce pass on the outside right to Zwetzig. Dribbling right baseline all the way, forces it up and in. Oh, what a shot by Zwetzig. Didn't have much there, but was able to score. And then the long pass is bobbled on the outside right now. Cross-court pass, 15-footer is off the back of the rim. Zwetzig grabs the rebound as that shot was missed over there by Kinsey Trujillo. And the Mustangs throw it away. First turnover of the game. That pressure, that's what's going to get to Fort Morgan. To throw it in is Madison Moyers. Lobs it into Trujillo. Bounces it outside right. Here is Hollier straight away. Down low, and the shot is up and in by Meza off the feed from Trujillo. And that was too easy. Essentially by herself, unguardable. Backcourt pass is intercepted by Trujillo. She lays it up and in. Boy, you got to keep your eye on the court because the Mustangs now have a couple of turnovers. That pass is intercepted, and that banking and scoring. Mustangs need a timeout. Is Brooke Meza, Fort Morgan, turning it over rampantly here. And now another steal and banked up and in. There's a timeout by Brett Anderson. I mean, it literally took place in a matter of seconds with 4 turnovers and 8 points, and now it's 10-2. Nice job of the scorers table keeping track as well. Roosevelt has scored 10 points in 95 seconds, and really the last 8 points came in about 10 seconds. And Brett Anderson will be calling timeouts as much as possible. Roosevelt's lone loss was at the beginning of the season to Cherry Creek, 45-43. Mustangs are coming off a respectable effort against Northridge, a game in which they lost 59-34. Yeah, since that season opening loss, you can imagine how good Roosevelt has been. They have rattled off 9 victories in a row. And quite frankly, they're going to be virtually impossible to beat in this district. So here we go with a 10-2 lead for Roosevelt Mustang basketball. And now they'll back off the pressure. 6-0 in league play. That's the Longs Peak League. Of course, the Mustangs the other direction. Ramirez pressured, bounces it, and it rolls towards midcourt, picked up by Taylor. Taylor double team and then lobs it. That one's intercepted. An easy layup up and in by Ryan Bonson-Price off Fort Morgan's fifth turnover. It's 12-2. It's a 10-0 run. Backcourt bounce pass taken by Phillips. The lob towards the front court to Jimenez. Jimenez with one to beat. Jimenez then had the ball stripped out of bounds, or it went off Jimenez. I thought it was off of Trujillo, but nonetheless, it's a Fort Morgan turnover again. They're sixth. Yeah, this will go to a running clock easily. By the time we get to the fourth quarter, this is the best team Fort Morgan will face all season. Lob front court. Here's Bonson-Price. 3-on-1. Bounce pass to Meza. Banks and scores. Brooke Meza. Lots of layups here. Backcourt passes. The pressure is being continued here by Roosevelt. And there's a foul on Roosevelt in the backcourt by Madison Moyers. First foul on either side. 14-2 lead. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Pass into the backcourt to Shaylin Ramirez. Light pressure there by Kyla Hollier. Dribbles by her into the front court. Double team. You cannot stop the dribble in the front court. And now we have a tie-up and possession arrow Roosevelt. I mean, they have to know better that if they are dribbling, they have to keep dribbling until they either shoot or pass. Charlotte Marquez, not in the starting lineup, now into the game for the Mustangs. And here is Kinsey Trujillo on the outside right. Mustangs in a 2-3. There's the lob down low, and the shot is up and missed. An easy one by Hollier. Gets the rebound, banks and misses. And where were the Mustangs there? She cannot get her own rebound on the other side. See, that's about will and determination, not just positioning. Taylor commits the foul. So this will be 2 free throws for Kyla Hollier, who's yet to score in the game. First free throw is up and perfect. It's a 13-0 run for the Rough Riders in what's a very quiet gym right now. Second free throw is in the air, and that's in. That net barely moved. It's 16-2. And then Brett Anderson, did he call another timeout? I don't think so, not this quickly. Right now, Roosevelt is on pace for about a 40-point first quarter. Not even close to midway through. There's the lob in the backcourt to Taylor. Double team, gets rid of it. Overhead pass to Jimenez. Lob towards midcourt. It's caught by Charlotte Marquez. Dribbles all the way. Then lost control. Tries to save it in. And saves it into a Rough Rider. There's the lob to Trujillo. Trujillo with a 4-on-3. Right of the lane in the right corner. Wide open 3. Hollier. Book it. Kyla Hollier drills a 3. And it's 19-2. Stoppage in play. And, yep, no reason for that. Jimenez will run the baseline. Backcourt bounce pass is tipped away to Taylor. Now the ball is loose. Inside, the layup is up and in by Bonson-Price off the feed from Kyla Hollier. Bonson-Price now with 6 in the opening quarter. The Mustangs with 8 turnovers. Timeout. We have played 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And the defending 5A state champion Roosevelt Lady Rough Riders lead the Fort Morgan Mustangs in Fort Morgan 21-2. And the timeout is brought to you by Rudy's Tires. 9 locations across northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always a location close by. Rudy's Tires brings you 10-10 preps and more every weekday. Visit rudystires.com for more. The Mustangs got a bucket along the right baseline by Lauren Zwetzig to tie the game at 2. And since then, Roosevelt has scored 19 unanswered points. And Brett Anderson just working on positioning, making sure his team spreads the floor, especially in the backcourt. Because Roosevelt laid off the pressure. And let's see, I think they're going to back off a little bit. Well, maybe not. Nope, they're going to pressure here. Bounce pass into Charlotte Marquez. Marquez towards midcourt, picked up by Hollier. Dribbles along the right baseline. Then she's fouled. That's a good job by Marquez maintaining the dribble. And foul by Ryan Bonson-Price. Second foul by Roosevelt. Yeah, do not stop that dribble because if not, you're going to get double teams. Zwedzig in the backcourt, bounce pass to Marquez with a left-handed dribble, working off a pick from Jimenez on the outside left, dribbling towards the corner. Now maintains the dribble near the top, and then that ball is tipped out of bounds off the foot of Kinsey Trujillo. It stays with Fort Morgan as the ball rolled into the Roosevelt bench. Marquez to throw it in. Backcourt pass over to Zwedzig. Lauren Zwedzig with the dribble against Trujillo on the high left. Double teamed is Marquez. Bounce pass as the ball is loose. It's tipped away. Underhand toss. And all the way the layup is up and in by Hollier off the feet from Madison Moyers. Hollier now with 7 points in the game. 9 turnovers for the Mustangs. It's a 21-0 run. And now we have a third foul committed by Roosevelt at midcourt by Kyla Hollier. That's going to be her first. 3 fouls by Roosevelt. 3 players have 1 apiece. Yeah, I'm surprised they're still pressuring up by 21, but we're not even midway through the opening quarter. And now, looked like that should have been an over and back, but the ball was tipped. Jimenez bounce pass to Marquez as the shot blocked along the right baseline, and the ball is picked up by Madison Moyers. Here comes Roosevelt quickly across the timeline. The lob to Trujillo straight away as the Mustangs back off a little bit defensively. Trujillo with the basketball, looking to her right, hands it off to Bonson Price. Back out to Hollier, lob inside, reverse layup is up, and it's missed over there by Kinsey Trujillo. The rebound to Ava Taylor. That's her second of the game for the Mustangs. Fort Morgan quickly check it. That's her first. Here is Charlotte Marquez with a dribble across midcourt. Chest pass to the top for Zwedzig. Lob inside is tipped out of bounds by Kyla Hollier towards midcourt. Now the Mustangs will make lots of changes here. Melina Richards coming in. Shaylin Ramirez was out for just a little bit. Into the game for the first time, Kiera Alaman. And also in there, Yelena Ramirez. So 2 Ramirez's here. Shaylin with a basketball, spinning near the top, dribbles to her right, bounce pass to Marquez. There's the lob right of the lane to Yelena, right baseline. Melina Richards double team and nearly tied up, tries to bounce it over to a teammate. It's intercepted. Here comes Roosevelt the other way. The lob off the left hand of Bonson Price out of bounds. An errant pass by Kyla Hollier. That's the first turnover of the game for Roosevelt. We're nearly 4:40 into the game. It's 3:15 to go first quarter. Roosevelt with a 23-2 lead. And Marquez has it stripped. Now she's got it back. Bounces it still in the backcourt on her back over to Shaylin Ramirez. Lost control of the basketball. Picked up by Hollier. Long pass to Trujillo. Banks and scores. And now the Mustangs need another timeout. They're going to get it after turnover number 11. This is not a game of dribbling. The bottom line is that basketball is a game of passing, and I think the Mustangs, you're playing a great team, but they're over-dribbling a bit. And as a result, they are down by 23 as the game was actually tied at 2. And thank goodness we'll have a running clock in the fourth quarter, because if not, Roosevelt could be on their way to 100 points. 7 points for Kyla Hollier. You got 6 apiece from Kinsey Trujillo, Ryan Bonson Price, and Brooke Meza. Those are the 25 points for the Rough Riders on a 23-0 run. The boys' game to follow. The boys' game is going to be a heck of a game. Fort Morgan has not won a game this year, and Roosevelt is 1-9. So that's going to be a legitimate shot for David Marquez to post his first head coaching win. He won a lot of games as a player in the early 2000s. As for now, the Mustangs break the huddle with Melina Richards, Shaylin Ramirez, Yelena Ramirez, Kiera Alaman, and Charlotte Marquez. They've got the basketball, and pressure will be applied still, I think, just for the first quarter by Roosevelt. Then they're going to have to back off. If not, then you talk about sportsmanship issues. Here's Shaylin Ramirez. Jump pass to Charlotte Marquez. Bounce pass right of the lane. Here's Alaman. Forces it up and misses, but a foul. That's a nice move by Kiera Alaman. Any way you can get the shot off. And foul by Madison Moyers. That's her second. Now Alaman is looking to stop this 23-0 run. Make it, 23-0 run by Roosevelt. Oh, they're going to say it was on the floor? It looked like she was clearly going up for the shot. Well, Richards will throw it in. Alaman was standing at the line. On the outside right to Marquez. Down low, tipped away. Back to Marquez, takes the 3, and it's short. Rebound into the hands of Hollier. Here's the long pass to Moyers. Banks and scores. The Mustangs not back defensively. It's an easy bucket. That's a 6th layup of the game already for Roosevelt. Bounce passes tipped away and intercepted. There's the long pass to Hollier, and she banks and scores off the assist from Brooke Meza. Hollier now has 9 points in the opening quarter, a 27-0 run for Roosevelt. 29-2, 2:08 to go. Another pass is tipped away near midcourt. Out of bounds. That is off of Fort Morgan. Turnover number 13 by the Mustangs. There's no doubt that Roosevelt's going to clear the bench. They'll have everybody play this game. Just across the timeline is Trujillo. They haven't made a substitution yet, but they will. On the high right is Meza. Lob down low. Trujillo banks and misses. Too strong. Rebound to Melina Richards. Roosevelt will back off with 1:51 to go in the first quarter. Marquez just across midcourt with a right-handed dribble. Picked up over there by Bonson Price. Dribbles by Bonson Price to the right baseline. Now she catches back up to Marquez. Picks up the dribble. Looking down low. Then tried to bounce it in, but it's tipped away, intercepted by Bonson Price, and the ball is loose, and it's taken away by Marquez, and then that one is re-tipped away and intercepted by Roosevelt, then lost to Fort Morgan. Inside, Alamon puts it up and in! Oh my gosh, what a series of errors there on both sides. That stops the 27-0 run. 3 in the corner is no good. Rebound put back is up and missed by Meza, and the ball is tipped around, and the rebound to Alamon. The Mustangs now playing a little bit tougher right now with 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Roosevelt leads 29-4. Shaylin Ramirez bounce pass is intercepted on the outside right. This should be an easy layup. All the way the bounce pass is up and into Trujillo. Off the feed from Bonson Price. Trujillo has 8 points in the game. Timeout Fort Morgan 31-4 with less than 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. 30-second timeout is called by the Rough Riders as Fort Morgan has committed 15 turnovers in the opening quarter and Roosevelt has just 2. And that level of discipline and talent is why they are the defending 5A state champions at 9-1. And this is just going to be a game of survival for Fort Morgan. Even on their home floor, there's just no advantage against experience and talent like Roosevelt has got. Mustangs are attempting to build that talent under second-year head coach Brett Anderson. And now Roosevelt is making substitutions. Ava Grossball into the game. Looks like also in there is Kiana Castillo. Dribbling left to the lane, Ramirez lost control off her left knee out of bounds. 16 turnovers for the Mustangs. They'll back off defensively. And Peyton Terry has the basketball now. I don't know how much more play the starters will get for Roosevelt. Terry lobs it right side to Bryn Price. Price in the lane, all the way, bumped, scoops it up and in. Bryn Price to the rack. 6 players in the scoring column for Roosevelt. 33-4, 24 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Shaylin Ramirez, cross-court pass to Richards. Richards' bounce pass is tipped away. It's intercepted by Bryn Price. Price along the left side, all the way, bumped, fouled, offensive foul on Bryn Price. That's a nice defensive play by Ramirez. Looked like she might have been moving, but I think Bryn Price lowered that right shoulder into the Mustang defender. And now the Mustangs with substitutions. With 11.5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Backcourt pass from one Ramirez to the other. Kiera to Shaylin. Chest pass to Bella Phillips. Lob left to the lane. Taylor, her shot is an air ball, and the ball is loose. It's picked up by Peyton Terry. That's the end of the opening quarter. It is Roosevelt, the defending 5A state champions, in complete control after 8 minutes of play in Fort Morgan. Roosevelt 33, Fort Morgan 4 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with you from Stan Lampe Gymnasium at Fort Morgan High School as we head to the second quarter and the first of our doubleheader. Roosevelt girls, the defending 5A state champions, lead Fort Morgan 33-4. Lauren Zwedzig lobs it in to Shaylin Ramirez out there with Bella Phillips. And there's the lob on the outside right to Phillips. Now into the lane to Zwedzig, bumped, and that's going to be a foul. That should be a defensive foul on Roosevelt. Ava Taylor also in there along with Kiara Jimenez. And the foul was committed, I believe. Is that Kenley Kern into the game? Yeah, Kenley Kern checking in for the first time. Mustangs to throw it in. Zwedzig on the offensive end. Looking, has to get rid of it. On the high right to Shaylin Ramirez. Dribbles to her left, is going to hand it off to Kiara. Chest pass inside. That's a careless pass. Easily intercepted by Bryn Price. Turnover number 18. Peyton Terry in the right corner to Kern. Straight away. Here is Bryn Price. Crossover dribble. Swings it back out. Terry on the high left with a basketball. Looking to her right to Grosball. Is going to feed it instead to Bryn Price. Mustangs in a 2-3 just backing off, and so is Roosevelt. This quarter should go quickly, especially since they're spreading the offense. Near midcourt, here's Bryn Price, left-handed dribble. Back out, here's a three-pointers up, and that's an air ball as the ball is loose. And it's picked up by Bella Phillips on the miss by Kiana Castillo. Then a steal, and a shot is up and in by Bryn Price. Mustangs with a turnover in the backcourt. It was a 27-0 run that propelled Roosevelt to this huge lead in the opening quarter. Now we're early in the second. 6:52 to go before halftime. Zwedzig is fouled near midcourt. Kenley Kern got her with a body. And that's Kern's second foul. So none of the starters out there for Roosevelt. They might go with their bench players exclusively in this second quarter. Backcourt pass to Shaylin Ramirez. Dribbling to her left, guarded closely by Peyton Terry, top of the three-point circle. Picks up the dribble. That's the dangerous part. Bounce pass to Taylor at the free throw line. Inside to Zwedzig. Has the shot partially blocked, but a foul. I'm telling you, this Roosevelt team is getting their money's worth from Fort Morgan. As the foul was committed, at least in this quarter, Castillo commits the foul. The free throw is good. And that's exactly why these bench players are in there for Roosevelt. Coach Miller wants to make sure that he keeps those players pretty sharp. Second free throw, back rim, no. That's a strong rebound by Bryn Price of the Rough Riders, her first. Long chest pass in the corner. Now back out, three in the air. Is off the back of the rim. And the ball is loose, picked up by the Rough Riders. That's a hard foul on a miss. That is a hard foul. Kenley Kern to the line. Foul committed by Ava Taylor, her second. Castillo had missed the opening three. And Kenley Kern to shoot two. First free throw is in. Roosevelt 3 out of 3 from the line. The lead is up to 30. 94 seconds into the second quarter. Second free throw. Swish. It's actually 37-5. They have that. Yeah, 37-5. They didn't put that other point up there, so it was 31 when she made the first one. Chest pass to the high left of Zwedzig, dribbling to her right. Now he's going to hand it off to Kiara Jimenez, and then lost control or had it poked away by Price into the Roosevelt bench. Mustangs retain possession. Zwedzig to trigger it in. Kerr's right there. There's the bounce pass to Taylor. Handoff to Zwedzig. Layup is up and in. Oh, beautiful give and go between Taylor and Zwedzig. Mustangs back on the board. It's 37-7. On the outside right, Kern. Now on the outside left to Price. Dribbling. Feeds it back out over there to Castillo. Straight away. Here's Peyton Terry. Spins. Swings it left corner for Price. Dribbling to her right. Back out with the basketballs, Castillo. Now here is Bryn Price. Again, they spread it out. Price at the free throw line. Underhand toss to Castillo. Straight away. Banks it in. Did not call that shot, but it doesn't matter. She scores. It's Roosevelt 40, Fort Morgan 7, 5:28 to go before halftime. Ramirez has to cross midcourt and does with the left hand. Price is right there, and Roosevelt has 3 fouls in this quarter, so they've got to play a little bit more conservative. Bounce pass to Zwedzig, and then the ball is tipped near midcourt. Zwedzig chases it down in the backcourt. Pass is going to be tipped out of bounds, intended for Jimenez, and poked away by Kern near midcourt. Mustangs to throw it in. And Zwedzik is really playing hard out there. Are they looking for that floor to be wiped or something? No, I think we're fine. Zwedzik to throw it in. Chest pass to the backcourt to Ramirez, guarded closely by Price. Price has got lots of range, lots of size. There's the lob on the high right. Here's Zwedzik bumped, and there's a foul. That's way too aggressive by this Roosevelt defense. Peyton Terry commits Roosevelt's fourth foul of the second quarter, I should say. That's going to be her first. And we haven't played 3 minutes. This will get the Mustangs to the line from here on out. Zwedzik over to Bella Phillips. 15-foot rainbow is an air ball, and Peyton Terry's fouled in the backcourt by Lauren Zwedzik. Mustangs with their second foul of the second quarter. We have 7 fouls combined, or 6, I should say. Well, they haven't put that up there for Fort Morgan. That should have been a foul. I mean, it was marked a foul, clearly. Yeah, there you go. There's the long chest pass in the corner. Now inside, an easy layup up and in from Price from Kenley Kern. Price scores. She's got 6-4 in the quarter, and Roosevelt leads by 5 touchdowns. It's 42-7, 4.5 to go before halftime. Ramirez with a left-handed dribble into the lane. Ramirez lost control, got it back, maintains the dribble in the corner. Double team, has to get rid of it, and does it a bounce pass out to Kiara Jimenez. Jimenez bounce pass inside, knocked away by Roosevelt. It's stolen over there. Long pass inside, layup by Terry's up, and she blew the layup, and it's out of bounds. It's off Fort Morgan. 20 turnovers by the Mustangs, and watch out. The starters are back in for Roosevelt. That is trouble. It's already trouble to begin with, even with the second team. The second team has only outscored Fort Morgan 9-3 in the quarter. But now it's about to get a little bit worse here. To throw it in is Madison Moyers. Moyers. And what do we have? An offensive foul. That's committed by Brooke Meza. 15th foul, but it's an offensive foul, so they will not get to the line. But every foul from here on out in the second quarter, unless it's offensive, will get Fort Morgan to the line. Marquez. Was she fouled? Wow. Man, they're calling this. Nope, it's going to be an offensive foul. Illegal screen there by Fort Morgan. And that foul is called on Yelena Ramirez. Fort Morgan with a turnover. That's going to be their 21st. Into the game for the Mustangs is Abby Ramirez. On the outside left, Bonson Price. Lob down low, hooking and missing is Hollier, and the ball is out of bounds off of Kinsey Trujillo. Mustangs with some good defense there. Roosevelt is looking to get to 50 by halftime. Charlotte Marquez with a left-handed dribble. Marquez guarded closely by Bonson Price. Swings it right side to Melina Richards against Hollier. Back out of the bounce to Marquez. Mustangs have to move it quicker. Entry pass tipped away. Chased down by Ramirez. Back out to Richards. Richards with a right-handed dribble at the top. Bounce pass is poked away. It's loose. Picked up by Yelena Ramirez. Bounce pass out to Marquez. 3:19 to go before the break. Marquez lost control, got it back, and then threw it off the foot of Meza, and then it ricocheted off Marquez out of bounds. That is a Mustang turnover, their 22nd. Roosevelt the other way with 3:11 to go before halftime. Roosevelt leads 42-7. Kinsey Trujillo on the high right with the basketball, dribbling right baseline, and a timeout. A full timeout is called by Roosevelt. We'll take it with them. 3:05 to go, second quarter. Roosevelt 42, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
When you're 106.
On an 8-degree night in Fort Morgan, the Roosevelt Lady Rough Riders, the defending 5A state champions, are cooking, leading Fort Morgan 42-7. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Trujillo in the left corner. Dribbling to her right into the paint is Moyers. Inside pass, and the bank shot is up and in, and that is made beautifully over there by Brooke Meza. She's got 8 points, 44-7. They utilized 2 screens there to set up that easy shot. Marquez in the high left behind the three-point line. Swings it near the top to Aleman. Aleman baseball pass tipped away by Bonson Price. Intercepted Trujillo. All the way as Moyers. She banks and scores. Off the glass for Moyers. She's got 4 points. And it's 46-7, 2:27 to go before halftime. Marquez with a left-handed dribble. Marquez looking to her left. Picks up the dribble, got to get rid of it. Cross-court pass to Richards in the right corner to Abby Ramirez. Ramirez on the right side to Marquez behind the three-point line. Straight away to Melina Richards. Guarded closely there by Hollier. Bounce pass to Marquez at the free throw line. Dribbles right of the lane. Marquez puts it up and missed it a little bit too strong. Good look over there. Ball is loose. It's tipped around and it's knocked out of bounds by Kiera Aleman into the Roosevelt bench. It will be Rough Riders basketball with an even 2 minutes to go. And here comes Kinsey Trujillo. Met by Ramirez. Bounce pass on the outside right to Hollier. Straight away to Meza. On the left wing. Entry pass. Shot is up and in. That's a beautiful feed from Trujillo to Kyla Hollier. She's now got 11 points in the game. And it's a 48-7 lead with 1:37 to go. Marquez on the outside left. Dribbling towards the corner. Picks up the dribble. Double teamed and fouled. She'll get 2 free throws. Again, that Roosevelt defense way too aggressive and fouled by Kyla Hollier, her second. So Charlotte to the stripe. But the one thing the Mustangs have to work on is free throw shooting. That's something that they have certainly struggled with, and that free throw by Marquez is nowhere close, off the back of the rim. Roosevelt is 4 for 4. The Mustangs are 1 for 3. Second free throw by freshman Charlotte Marquez is in the air, and that one rattles out. The rebound is controlled by Hollier. Jump pass is taken by Bonson Price. Here is Mesa. She traveled before she got rid of the basketball. That's a good call. Turnover number 4 for Roosevelt with 1:28 to go before the break. They're 2 points shy of the half-century mark of the Rough Riders. Marquez dribbles across the timeline. Left of the lane, puts up a shot, and she went to the floor. It was missed off the side of the backboard. The rebound to Hollier. Long pass to Mesa. She scores off the glass. Another easy layup for Roosevelt. Mesa now with 10 points. It's 50-7. Marquez with 1:05 remaining second quarter. Left of the lane, picks up the dribble. Has to spin it back out, cannot. It's intercepted. Taken away by Trujillo. The pass ahead to Bonson Price. She blew the layup. And then a steal and a put back up and in. Ramirez just didn't really control that basketball effectively. And Trujillo scored. Yeah, you've got to rip that basketball away with attitude. Ramirez just kind of like casually, and then the ball's thrown away towards Ramirez, or it was tipped first. 52-7. Yeah, once you grab a rebound, you've got to own it. And she just had that ball taken away by Kinsey Trujillo, who banked and scored. Marquez on the high right at the top for Abby Ramirez. Chest pass high right for Marquez. These passes are just, they got to be stronger than that. Marquez underneath the basket to Aleman, puts it up and misses badly. And the rebound's controlled by Hollier. Nobody back on defense for the Mustangs. And an easy layup by Madison Moyers. Yeah, Fort Morgan's got nobody back on defense. 13 seconds to go, down by 47. Bounce pass to Ramirez, turns, banks, and misses from 10. Rebound to Kyla Hollier. That's another long pass. It's a 2-on-1. Inside Moyers, banks and scores off the feed from Kinsey Trujillo. That's the thing. They're not even getting back on defense. That's close to about 16, 17 layups in this opening half for Roosevelt, and they are taking apart the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Outscoring Fort Morgan in the quarter 23-3 after a 33-4 first quarter. And all the big numbers are on the side of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. We will take a break and come back with a first half recap right after this with the score. Roosevelt 56. Fort Morgan 7. It's a 3-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Sydney Region 106.
Let's head to the third quarter of this girls' game. Roosevelt leads Fort Morgan 56-7. The boys were warming up because they're playing here coming up at 7:30. And of all the Mustang boys taking those three-pointers, nobody made more than Chase Prouty. He nailed at least 2 that I saw. He was hitting three-pointer after three-pointer, perhaps after another three-pointer. And he's the newcomer on the team, which is exciting to see for the junior. As once again, the boys will play in approximately 45 minutes, less than 45 minutes. This game will go quickly in the second half because we'll have a running clock. The lead's already at 49. Once you get to a 35-point lead or greater at any point of the game, I believe it's at any point of the game, at least definitely going into the fourth quarter, then you have a running clock. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be at any point of the game because if a 35-point lead becomes 10 by the time you get to early in the fourth, then the clock would stop. But if it's at 35 or more entering the fourth quarter, and even if it's reduced under 35, it's permanently a running clock. Bryn Price with the basketball. On the outside right to Peyton Terry. Will introduce the Mustangs in a second. The Price 3 straightaways off the back of the rim. Mustangs got to fight for the rebound, but Bryn Price grabs it instead. Into the lane, Castillo banks and she misses. And the ball is picked up beautifully there by the Mustangs. And Lauren Zwedziger's second rebound. With Shaylin Ramirez, Ava Taylor, along with Kiara Jimenez and Bella Phillips. Ramirez has the ball stripped near midcourt. Here's Peyton Terry ahead of the field, banks and scores. And that's a terrible foul on Shaylin Ramirez. You don't need to do that. She's already beaten, committed a frustration foul. No reason for that foul at all. That's her first. Just let her go. The N1 is coming up for Peyton Terry off Fort Morgan's 25th turnover. And that's up and rattles in. The lead is now 52 points. It's 59-7. Price pressured at midcourt. Chest pass to Phillips and a high right to Taylor. Entry pass to Phillips. Banks too strong. Rebound to Price. Price with a third rebound. The long outlet to Terry. Baseball pass inside is tipped out of bounds. And it is off of Roosevelt. Nice play by Shaylin Ramirez that time, getting back on defense as the ball went off Grosball. She had it initially, then Ramirez kind of swatted it right off of Grosball. Ramirez in the high right, dribbles with the left hand, lost control. It's loose, picked up at the free throw line by Bryn Price. Price with a 1-on-2. Price explodes to the basket and scores! And a foul on the Mustangs. To the line is Bryn Price. And the lead is now 54. Shaylin Ramirez commits her third. Free throw by Price is off the back of the rim. Ball is loose, still loose. It's picked up by Kiara Jimenez. As Price has made a big impact here at 61-7. 6:39 to go in the third. Zwedzig on the high right. Bounce pass to Phillips. Phillips into the lane. Puts it up. Hits the top of the glass. And it's rebounded over there by Roosevelt. The other way with the basketball is Grosball. Inside to Terry. Left-handed shot is up and missed. It spins out, but Terry grabs her own rebound on the left baseline. Baseball pass to Kern. Now in the right corner. Grosball 3 is short, and the ball is loose, but it's a foul on Price over the back. And Bryn Price is not a starter, but let's see what class she's in. A junior. She'll start next year, I think. These are underclassmen. Nope, she won't start next year unless there's an injury. Shaylin Ramirez, entry pass taken by Bella Phillips. Phillips looking inside and throws it right into the hands of Kenley Kern with a 2-on-1. Over to Price. Banks misses, left it short. Ball is tipped out of bounds off Roosevelt. That will be Fort Morgan basketball with 6 minutes to go in the third. Roosevelt will score the first 5 points of this quarter, and they lead 61-7. It would be a victory for the Mustangs just to get into the double-digit scoring column. As a team, Ramirez chest pass high left to Jimenez. Left-handed dribble, bodied up by Castillo, dribbling towards the corner, trapped, has to bounce it back out towards Shaylin Ramirez, and then Peyton Terry commits the foul. Lazy defense by Roosevelt there. Yeah, you're just using hands and no feet. 3/4 court, Shaylin Ramirez to throw it in. And the bounce towards midcourt, intercepted by Bryn Price. She banks, misses, and the rebound, and no foul, but a miss there by Kenley Kern, but the ball was poked out of bounds. So she really never got the shot off of Fort Morgan's 28 turnover. Kiera Alaman checks back in. And Castillo to throw it in. Looking. There's the left corner three, yes. Oh, a beautiful shot made by Ava Grossball. Come on, John. It's 64-7. Near the top is Wedzig with a basketball. Lobs it inside to Taylor. Bounces, turns, can't shoot. Bounces it inside towards Wedzig on the right baseline. Zwedzig in the right corner to Alaman. Dribbles left of the lane in the paint. Then dribble the ball off her foot. It's loose. It's picked up by Roosevelt. Rough Riders the other way. Peyton Terry spins on the right baseline. Back out to Price. Fakes the three. Steps to her left. Castillo, three in the air. Banks it in. That's her second three that she banked in. Castillo now has 6. And Roosevelt has scored the first 11 points in the third quarter. They lead 67-7 with 4:48 to go in the third. Shaylin Ramirez on the outside left, bodied up by Terry. Picks up the dribble. Bounce pass left of the lane, intended for Jimenez. It's intercepted by Castillo. Left-handed layup is up, and she threw it up way too strong, but it's rebounded over there by Grossball. Here is Bryn Price. Left wing three. Back rim, no. Shaylin Ramirez grabs the Fort Morgan rebound. Mustangs the other way. Ramirez with 4:15 to go. Third quarter. Lobs it to Ava Taylor. Taylor had a nice give and go with Zwedzig in the second quarter. Zwedzig down low for Taylor. Tipped away. Taken by Zwedzig on the perimeter. Then puts up a shot and is fouled by Castillo as she misses. That's a strong move to the basket. Hopefully that's going to be on the shot. It should be, and it will. Foul is committed by Castillo. That's her second. Lauren Zwedzig to shoot 2. She has 5 of Fort Morgan's 7 points. This free throw is up and around and good. It got glass, it got rim, it went in. Melina Richards in along with Elena Ramirez and Charlotte Marquez. Free throw number 2 is upcoming. The lead is down to 59, 67-8. Zwedzig bends, shoots, and off to the left. Ball is loose, picked up by Ramirez. She turns, and she misses off to the right. And then the ball is picked up over there by Bryn Price. Price the other way. Here's the lob, left of the lane. Back out to Terry. Baseball pass to the top for Price. In the lane all the way, left-handed layup open. And the Mustangs just not playing well on the interior, allowing way too many layups. Timeout, Roosevelt. Let's keep it right here with 3:47 to go in the third. I think it's a full timeout. We'll still keep it here. In fact, that gives us time to tell you that one-stop shopping does exist. Where? Have you been to Stubbs Gas and Oil? Awesome. Off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. And that food is really good. It is really good at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fresh food. And covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better Electric. Better does matter. 970-521-1030. That is Better Electric. Boys game to follow. 2 minutes shy of the top of the hour. 6:58 in the Mountain Time Zone. This is Morgan County's B106. KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran with the Roosevelt Lady Rough Riders. Lead 69-8. Well, during this 2-year run, when the Mustangs are rebuilding, I don't think they've given up 100 points in a game. They've given up a few in the 90s, but not 100. Roosevelt is 31 points away, but they're also facing the running clock, which will help Fort Morgan prevent that from happening. So to throw it in is Rachel Daniels, making her first appearance of the game. Daniels, Marquez, Alaman, Yelena Ramirez, and another fresh body out there for the Mustangs. Here's Ramirez, ball stripped away, taken by Marquez, and scores off the glass from about 5 feet away on the right side. Charlotte Marquez, for the Mustangs on the scoreboard for the first time. Dribbling left baseline, Grossball all the way, hooks it up and misses. Rebound put back, she's fouled and scores with the left hand. It sat on the rim and it went down. Another and one for Roosevelt. And the Fort Morgan foul was on Kiera Aleman. Ava Grossball to the stripe. With a free throw made, they'd go up by 70, and there it is. By 60, 70-10. Marquez the other way for the Mustangs. Left of the lane, spins, looking. Baseball pass inside. That's an errant pass, and bodies on the floor, and there's going to be a tie-up between Kern and Aleman. Possession arrow, Fort Morgan. Let's see who throws it in for the Mustangs with 3:15 to go in the third. That's 70 even, right? Let me see that. 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 16. Should be 72 points. And the shot is missed in the lane. They didn't give her the extra 2 points. I knew that score was wrong. Here's Peyton Terry. Lobs it cross court to Castillo. It should have been 72-10. I'm going to say the score the right way. Not what's up on that board. They missed that 2-pointer that was made. She only got 1 free throw. What did they think? 3 in the corner is up, and that's missed over there by Grossball, and the rebound to Rachel Daniels. With the basketball's Daniels across the timeline. Over to Marquez. Marquez in the lane all the way, puts it up and partially blocked. It's loose. It's taken by Aleman, and then she hooks it up and misses. And the ball is rebounded by Kenley Kern of Roosevelt. On the outlet pass with the basketball is Madison Cage into the game. Inside to Kern, banks and misses. Ball is tipped around once, twice. Madison Cage has got it. She's loose with the basketball on the floor, and then we've got a foul. Yeah, they've got to get the score right. It should be 72-10. They did not give Grossball the bucket. Let me see. 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, they missed 2 points. 72-10 is the correct score, not what it's on the board. Bounce pass inside. It's poked away, intercepted by Fort Morgan. Then Castillo commits the foul in the backcourt. That's her third. Yeah, you've got to score the and one. And here comes Charlotte Marquez. Marquez left of the lane with the basketball. Turns, banks, and misses. And the ball is rebounded by Melina Richards. That's a strong rebound. On the outside right, Marquez chest pass inside, tipped away, taken by Richards, banks it in. Nice job by Melina Richards, putting up the loose change, 72-12. I don't care what that scoreboard says. Here's the 3 in the corner by Castillo. That's an air ball, but the shot is up and missed by Cage. Goes back up and partially blocked by Daniels. Daniels comes down with the basketball. Marquez at midcourt. Marquez met by Terry. 1:35 to go in the third. Over to Daniels. Baseball pass to Ramirez. Turns. 14-footer air ball. Bottom of the net. And trying to save it in as Richards out of bounds. Yeah, I don't care what that scoreboard says anymore. It has to be correct, and they didn't put the 2 points up there. And if they don't review their book, then I'm going to give you the score. Even I'm going to report the score as is written in my book. They have to review the scoreboard, hopefully after this quarter, so they get it right. I know it doesn't make a difference. Entry pass intercepted by Fort Morgan, because Roosevelt's going to win either way, but the math always has to match up. It's straight up math. Daniels' pass is tipped away, taken by Cage. Tie up between Cage and Marquez. And now the basketball goes over to Roosevelt. Possession arrow in their direction. Yeah, what happened is that Grossball scored, and she got 1 free throw. She made the free throw, but they didn't credit her with the 2 points on the scoreboard, and that's why it's at 70 instead of 72. On the outside right, Haley Adams misses the shot, and the ball is loose, taken by Adams. Adams underneath the basket was pushed by Melina Richards. So Adams pushed, and she'll go to the line. The Mustangs are in the bonus. Yeah, I think that's her. I mean, it could be another player. Free throw is missed. I mean, that's who I have on the roster. Because there's also Ella Maslowski. that's wearing a 20 on JV, but this is what I've got for this player. Second free throw is up and in by Adams. 73-12. Scoreboard has 71. Again, we'll see if they check that. And they're scoring, and that pass by Marquez intercepted into the backcourt. Here comes Roosevelt, long pass to Cage, and that ball is going to be out of bounds off Adams. 7 turnovers by the Rough Riders. It'll be a running clock in the fourth quarter with the Mustangs down by 59 at this point. Pass for Richards inside, a baseball pass, went right over her head out of bounds. Mustangs with 31 turnovers. And Roosevelt will set up her ass for the final shot with 18 seconds to go in the third. On the outside right, Castillo. Lob down low in the lane to Kern. Kern is trapped over there by Ramirez. Bounce pass inside. It's tipped away. Intercepted by Marquez. Fort Morgan with Daniels. Baseball pass. That one is loose. It's still loose in the right baseline. Intercepted by Roosevelt. That's the end of the third quarter. I'm going to go by my scorebook because I know it's correct, unlike the board. We have played 3 quarters. It is Roosevelt 73, Fort Morgan 12 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Growing crops isn't just about B106.
Let's head to the fourth quarter. Roosevelt with a 73-12 lead. Again, for somebody who's at the game, it says 71-12, but they definitely missed it at the scores table. There was an and one. They did not give the 2 points to Ava Grossball. She only got 1 free throw. It was not a technical. And she made the free throw. That was a 3-point play, not a 1-point play. They have not corrected it, but on our B106 Facebook page, we're going to put the right score. I don't care what the what it says at the end, because that is unofficial as far as I'm concerned. Rachel Daniels in the backcourt to Charlotte Marquez. Marquez into the front court, middle of the lane, and then had the ball stripped from behind. It's loose on the floor, and it's taken by the Rough Riders. They've got all their second-teamers out there. Adams in the left corner, now a 3 in the air is up, and that's an air ball. That's a new player into the game, but Roosevelt has got it, and then the bank shot is up and in, and that is made by, let's see, that's got to be Haley Lopez. Lopez for 2, 75-12. Into the paint, the ball is loose on the entry pass, and a traveling violation as Kern was on the floor. Teams trade turnovers. Again, the clock continues to run. Marquez to throw it in. Why, a timeout called by Brett Anderson. All right. He's entitled. He's got those timeouts. They just had a timeout at the end of the quarter, 30-second timeout. With a 75-12 lead for Roosevelt. With 7:09 to go in the game, the boys' game will start at 7:30. Should get that in on time. 10 minutes in between games, and unless there's a significant stoppage for a reason that we don't anticipate, we will start on time for the boys' game with Roosevelt up by 63. Marquez, Daniels, Aleman, Yelena Ramirez, and Melina Richards for the Mustangs. Marquez to throw it in. Tries to force a pass inside. It ricochets back to Marquez. She was on the end line. The Mustangs cannot continue to be this arrogant about throwing passes into places where there are no opening. No openings whatsoever. That is turnover 35 for Fort Morgan. And then the ball thrown nearly in the backcourt by Roosevelt. It is, and over and back. As they track it down before the Mustangs touched it. That's their 10th turnover. And Daniels to throw it in. Over to Charlotte Marquez. Marquez with a left-handed dribble. Backs off on a defender. Can't take the 3. Bounce pass to Ramirez inside. Turns, shoots. Off the back of the rim. Strong rebound by Kern. And Kern's fouled in the backcourt. They've got to call that on. Did they call that? Wow. That's called on Roosevelt? I mean, they're letting him play. Wow. That's got to be a Fort Morgan. Yes, that's a Fort Morgan foul. Please. I mean, I'd love to see the Mustangs do nice things, but Ramirez clearly went over the back. So here we go. The basketball belongs to Roosevelt. 5:53 to go in the game. It's 75-12. In the left corner with the basketball. And now maintaining the dribble is Madison Cage. Cage cross-court pass is taken by Adams back to, and nearly a steal. And there's a nice steal there by Aubrey Alvidrez. And a foul by Roosevelt. Nice job by Aubrey. Yeah, the game's getting a little bit sloppy. Cage commits the foul. But luckily the clock is running. Only 2 points have been scored in the quarter by Haley Lopez of Roosevelt at 75-12. Baseball pass in the high right to Richards. Bounce pass down low for Ramirez. Back out to Daniels. Steps into the paint. Puts up a 10-foot runner. Back rim, no. And rebound to Haley Adams of Roosevelt. Long baseball pass to Kern all the way. Banks and scores. 77-12 in favor of Roosevelt with 4:49 to go in the game. Rachel Daniels, crossover dribble against Cage. Maintains that dribble, picks up the dribble. Swings it right side towards Richards in front of the Fort Morgan bench. Richards looking, bounces it towards Aubrey. And the ball is poked away. Never got to Aubrey. Loose on the floor, picked up by Roosevelt. And here is Haley Lopez, left-handed dribble. Banks misses, offensive foul. The teams exchange turnovers. On the offensive foul by Lopez, clock continues to run, 4:12 to go. Roosevelt with a 77-12 lead. And here is Rachel Daniels. To the right side through Aubrey, run through her hands. Aubrey chases it back down, dribbling towards the right corner. Bounce pass inside to Ramirez, turns, shoots, misses, but a foul. That will stop the clock momentarily on the foul by Ava Grossball. And Yelena Ramirez to shoot two. 3:39 to go in the game. Free throw is up and banked in. 77-13. Castillo back into the game for Roosevelt. And free throw number 2 is upcoming. That's up, and that's back rim, missed it. Ball is knocked out of bounds. And why did Kern try to save it in? That didn't make any sense. Richards knocked the ball from behind Kern, and Kern tried to save it in. It's off Roosevelt. And why is the clock there you go. Now, no, why did they stop the clock, and now they're restarting it? Yeah, that was a live ball. Cross-court pass is tipped near midcourt. Aubrey Alvarez has got it for Fort Morgan. Now to Ramirez. Bounce pass to Daniels. Backs up for a 3, and that's back rim, no. And that's a strong rebound controlled by Roosevelt and Kiana Castillo. There's the long pass left of the lane. Now to Lopez. Left baseline shot, air ball. Abby Ramirez has the basketball for the Mustangs. We've got 3:03 to go. Roosevelt 77, Fort Morgan 13. The board says 75-13. Aubrey with the basketball. Bounce pass straight away to Daniels on the outside left to Melina Richards. Straight away bounce pass to Daniels. Cross court is taken by Ramirez. Has the ball wrestled away by Madison Cage. And the Mustangs turn it over for a 37th time in the game. And then Roosevelt throws it away near midcourt. And now 2 more Mustangs checking in. Kaya Stevens. And there's somebody wearing, let's see, a 10. I don't know who the 10 is. Again, if they don't add it to the varsity roster, we have no clue. Here's Alvidrez with the basketball. Aubrey's not on the roster either, but I just happen to know her. Ramirez 3 is no good. Ball is loose. It's out of bounds off of Fort Morgan. Yeah, once they calculate the individual totals they'll realize that doesn't add up to 75. It adds up to a higher number. And we're under 2 minutes to go in the game. Madison Cage back out to Adams. Haley Adams to Cage. Left-handed dribble, left of the lane, and a foul. Melina Richards. Nope, it's going to be Aubrey instead. Both were there. Aubrey got her across the body. Inside pass to Kern. Kern had the ball stripped away out of bounds off of Kern. Nice job by Abby Ramirez. Excellent defensive play by the Mustangs. Roosevelt now with 13 turnovers. 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining. On the outside left, Ramirez dribbles towards the top, utilizing a pick from Alvarez, who has the basketball now. Aubrey maintains the dribble near midcourt. And then that pass inside is going to be intercepted by Kenley Kern. Again, there was no lane there. Castillo cross-court pass to Lopez. Left corner, now back to Lopez. Dribbles by 2 all the way. Banks and misses, too strong. And then Lopez gets it, puts it up and misses. And then the ball is loose underneath the basket. Still loose. There's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow goes to Fort Morgan. With 38 seconds to go in the game. Only 5 points have been scored in the quarter. Entry pass again. Aubrey's just forcing it there, and it's still loose. It's picked up now by Castillo. Long pass is taken by Cage. They don't need to shoot. But there's plenty of time still left, about 18 seconds in case they want to shoot. Kenley Kern, right of the lane with a basketball. Over to Adams. Here's Lopez with 10 to go. On the outside left to Cage to Castillo behind the three-point line. Yeah, they should just dribble out the clock. Now with 4 seconds, with 3, Kern has got it. And Kern will dribble out the clock. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders have won the game tonight by what I call the official score of 77-13. With a titillating 4-1 fourth quarter. Roosevelt moving to 10-1. The Mustangs dropping to 0-10. And that's the way this one concludes. There will be approximately 12 minutes in between games. And that's because we did finish at 7:18 Mountain Time. So that is the reason we've got all that time in between the two games. So we will take a break. The final score, once again tonight. And this is the score that I'm going to give you, unlike the scorers table where they definitely missed 2 points. And they have not taken the score off the board, so they have to recalculate that. Now they have, but the score that I'm going to give you, the Roosevelt girls defeat the Fort Morgan Mustangs 77-13. Now the entire board is off, and we're supposed to have 12 minutes between the guys. They're going to count 12 more. They're going to restart the clock, so I think we're going to get to some music. A break and some music after this on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
In the business of agriculture,
the Mustang Postgame Show is brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seafood and water for your field, and now is the time to begin your planning for next year's growing season. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. The Roosevelt Lady Rough Riders improved to 7-0 in the Longs Peak and 10-1 overall. The Mustangs dropped to 0-10. 77-13, the final score. Roosevelt had 4 players in double figures. Kyla Hollier with 11 points, 10 apiece for Kinsey Trujillo, Brooke Mays, and Bryn Price. They also got 8 points from Madison Moyers and 6 apiece from Ava Grossball, Ryan Bonson Price, and Kiana Castillo. Kenley Kern with 4, Peyton Terry with 3, 1 from Haley Adams, and Haley Lopez had 2. The Mustangs for their 13 had 6 from Lawrence Wedzig, 2 apiece from Melina Richards, Kiara Alaman, and Charlotte Marquez, and 1 free throw for Yelena Ramirez. Speaking of the line, the Mustangs were only 3 out of 8 at 42%. Roosevelt at 7 out of 9. 39 turnovers for Fort Morgan, 13 for Roosevelt. The Mustangs grabbed 15 rebounds. Roosevelt had 29. Check it, 20. Just 20. 5 from Bryn Price. And they just used their talent and experience and full court press in the opening quarter when they scored 33 of their 77 points. 23-3 second quarter, 17-5 third, and 4-1 during a running clock in the fourth quarter. The boys' game should be very, very interesting. Teams with combined records of 1-18, 0-9 for the Mustangs, 1-9 for Roosevelt. This is going to be Fort Morgan's best shot to win a game this season on their home court against Roosevelt. We will take a break since we still have plenty of time in between games, and we'll get to some music, a little bit of music right after this. The final score, Roosevelt 77, Fort Morgan 13 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Ready for